Yo, last week of the season, y'all.
Yeah, man.
The last Graphk and Wasted and Graphk show. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. We are back. Welcome to the latest installment of the Graphk and Wasted show.
Or the Wasted and Graphics show, whichever way you like to slice it. My brother, man. Salute to my big bro, Wasted. We were backstage talking a bunch of shit. It's so funny. I was just telling him, man, that it's so good to be a million miles away from him and be able to talk all kind of shit. Knowing that he can't do anything about it. It's just a beautiful, wonderful feeling. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, we appreciate you guys so much. Pay your bar tabs, wipe your feet, hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. A lot to talk about today. We both can be double dipping here. We got the Graphk and Wasted and the Graphk show early morning. We got the watch party with me and Hammer, and we got the best after show in Raider Nation with Mr. Wasted Talent himself. Hopefully having something to celebrate because we were just sharing this same thought process, you guys. I think we're like too fanned out at this point. Where I think we're too invested. So we both, this is kind of disgusting. We both had dreams of this team winning today. Woke up in a cold sweat, 4:10 in the goddamn morning.
Bro,
it was like a nightmare.
I called you today and I was just like, dog, I don't know. And you're like, bro, I feel the same way. I'm like, bro, I had a dream. He's like, bro, I had a dream too. I'm like, oh, so we both on our MLK shit. I'm just hoping and praying. I think last night kind of deflated this, right? The whiners.
I'm like, you rotten bastards. You couldn't just do us a solid just one time.
It would have made this
effing time.
It would have made it so much more easier. I mean, look, the Niners go beat the Seahawks, which they got absolutely cooked, owned at home, 13-3. That defense is absolutely abysmal without Bosa and Fred Warner out there. And I think D. Winters went out as well. So their second level of the defense was struggling. Seattle's they're for real. They're for real. I'm not taking anything away from them. That offense, that defense, they're firing on all cylinders right now. And I wouldn't be upset if anyone said that they're honestly the Super Bowl favorites.
A lot of people feel that way. You know, it's amazing what a team could look like without having the oppressive rule of Pete Carroll there in the building.
Hey, could you imagine, bro? Seattle goes and wins the whole thing. Pete Carroll has the worst year of his career, and Sam Darnold wins a championship, knowing that the Raiders could have had him. And Greg Olsen himself told me and Stu in Indianapolis that he wanted Sam Darnold in the silver and black. Picture that.
Yep. The USC guy, it just made too much sense for it to happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we have a lot to talk about today, you guys, so stick around, man. We're going to try and get this knocked out in an hour so we can all, watch these early games because there's still a chance here in the early going that we can get some help here. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Okay, I'm going to go over these scenarios real fast for those who have no idea what's going on.
I got to memorize.
Me too. But I want to make sure we read this the right way. Yeah. The Niners did not help our strength of schedule scenario at all last night. So today, lose to KC. You have the number one spot, right? Simple and plain. If the Giants beat Dallas at home, we have the number one spot. So those two scenarios are very much so real. I don't have the Giants beating Dallas by any means. I heard that Dak's going to go out there and continue to, finish off his season. He's having a remarkable season offensively. But this is the three scenarios that we need, you guys. The Saints beat Atlanta, which is honestly realistic. I mean, the Saints have been balling lately. The Falcons have been just an up and down ball club. They beat good teams, lose to bad teams. Yeah. I know that Tampa Bay is hoping and praying, for a miracle today because they need some things to happen to go their way with that Saints and Atlanta game for them to win the division or Carolina to win that division. We need the Lions to beat the Bears. That is a late game, you guys. So again, keep an eye on that one because I don't know what they're doing with Caleb Williams and company. I have not looked into this situation. I know that they've already won their division. They've got it pretty much sewn up. So I don't know.
But there's a seeding issue there because a lot of those teams in the NFC got the exact same record.
Yep.
So, you know, I think when you win your division, for the most part, you get a home playoff game.
Yeah.
But it depends on who you play. But I don't really think the Chicago Bears give a damn who they play as long as they get their home playoff game and make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
But I do know that Dan Campbell is going to want to end this season on a solid high note, beating Ben Johnson in Chicago. This one means something to Detroit.
Well,
they've heard all the talk all year long about you moved on from the wrong person. I've seen several reports out there saying they should have kept Ben Johnson, moved on from Dan Campbell, and so on and so forth. I have to say this also. Since Dan Campbell has took over the offense in Detroit, they've gotten better weekly, but they're already out of it. They're not going to be in the playoffs this year. Again, it would be, I think, like something that would be a momentum builder going into the offseason.
Well, it's a credibility builder for Dan Campbell. He is looking like an abject fraud without him. You know, exactly. he is looking like the emperor's new clothes. He is up there bucky naked right now, pause if necessary, with you know, not even making the playoffs when he was really the favorite to go to the Super Bowl last year. And they did not go, part and parcel because of his poor decision making. Yeah, Dan Campbell is going to start really getting the whispers of someone who is overrated.
Yep,
real rap. This game is his Super Bowl this year.
Agreed. And Rick definitely is on to something there as well. I was going to bring that up. Caleb is almost 300 yards away from potentially becoming the first quarterback in Bears history to pass for 4,000 yards. So that may mean something to them out there. I don't know if he's going to play a half or play the whole game, but I know this. Ben Johnson will put his guys out there regardless. You know, this one means something to him as well. Detroit is a team that he would love to beat on the way out, you know, but again, you're already in the playoffs here, Wasted. I don't know if you want to potentially put your players in harm's way. We shall see, but we need Detroit to beat Chicago in the late game, and then we also need Cincinnati to beat Cleveland in Cincinnati, which I think is very realistic for us. I think Burrow and company are going to go out there and beat the hell out of Cleveland, regardless of how good their defense is.
Yeah, unless Shedeur figures it out, but he's been really throwing up a lot of moon balls and making decisions that rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, he'll almost single-handedly give Cincinnati that game.
And I'm hoping that Myles Garrett can break that sack record today as well. He needs one, just needs one, and he's got the record. So we'll see if he can get it done out there in Cincinnati. So those are your scenarios right now, you guys. Again, if we lose, it does not matter. If the Giants win, it does not matter. But if we need some scenarios to happen, we need the Saints to beat Atlanta. We need Cincinnati to beat Cleveland, and we need Detroit to beat Chicago. Salute to Jordy. Getting dressed for the game now, fellas. I'm going to see us get this number one. Salute to the missus for the gift. Salute to our guy, Jordy. Have some fun out there, my brother. Hopefully you bring us some luck. Just lose, baby. Salute
Jordy, man, that is, I'm telling you, Jordy was a member of New Edition back in the 90s when they were going through their transition after Bobby Brown.
If it isn't love, why do you feel this way?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was Jordy and Johnny Gill, and he lost out to Johnny Gill. Sorry, Jordy.
Jordy, it sounds like it too. Like that's a perfect name. Yeah, like Ronnie, Jordy, Ricky, and Mike.
Yo, information, not affirmation, Graphk. I mean, come on.
There you go. Salute to Tony. Keep up the good work, fellas. The time is now to right the ship. We have suffered for too goddamn long. I'll put some extra sauce on that one. Salute to my guy, Tony. Appreciate you, my brother, on the $20 special. And you are absolutely right. Hopefully today works in our favor, man, because I don't know how this fan base is going to react if we lose this number one pick. Then all this terrible season was absolutely like just, it was nothing.
For nothing. Because, bro, I'm trying to tell y'all something, man. Y'all talking about the suffering is over. You know, the suffering is not over until we lose or we get the number one pick. The suffering can continue. It's oppressive reign over Raider Nation. I need for you guys to be pragmatic because, look, I have a few ideas if we don't get the number one pick. And one idea would most likely be BPA and going getting like Trinidad Chambliss or something like that in round 2 or 3.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to be prisoner of the moment here. I'm not going to jump on the Chambliss train just yet.
Drew Allard, one of them got. I'm just look. You know me, big, strong quarterback, right?
6'1" though. I know Brady said 6'2" and up.
Yeah, look, I am more of a Drew Allard guy because of the prototype.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, look, you go out there, draft 2 of them. And then if it doesn't work out, then you're right in line to be in one of the better quarterback drafts next year. So I need for you guys to stay focused because there's a very real possibility that we do not get the number 1 pick.
And we may need to anyway, bro. We may have one quarterback on this roster after we move on from Geno. Aiden O'Connell, the roach of Raider Nation, man. He's going to be here for the last year of his deal, bro. He has lived through it all. You know what I'm saying?
Flavor saver mustache is unbelievable.
Salute to Oscar, but I hear you. I'm not upset. Well, let me say this. To me, it's Fernando or bust, but I hear you about the shamblers, double dipping, potentially Drew Allard. At this point, if you miss out, you got to get a couple guys in the building that can add some potential.
And just
value.
compete.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that shit ever again, though.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oscar, man. Salute to the nation. Man, Seahawks look good. This is facts. Really can't wait until we are relevant again. Well, this is the thing. And thank you for helping kind of lead into this next segment of the show here, Oscar. It's great to have a head coach that's a phenomenal defensive mind. And then you have Kubiak, who's worked wonders with that offense, right? Well, there was just a rumor that just dropped maybe 10 minutes, you guys, before we actually did this show. And I wanted to bring this up, and I wanted my brother Waste's opinion on this and the nation. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. Let me know what you guys think about this. We've talked about this before already, okay? So there's a rumor. This is from Pro Football Talk. There's a rumor currently making the rounds that once Brady rolls up his sleeves while also wearing one glove and an expensive-ass watch, he'll make the case for bringing in Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores. As the chatter goes, Flores would be the head coach and former Giants coach Brian DeBall would be the offensive coordinator. Like Flores, DeBall has extensive experience with the Patriot way. DeBall was there for the first 3 Super Bowl wins of the Brady-Belichick era and for 2 of the second trio of championships. Brady and Flores are believed to have a really good relationship. Flores was among those in Miami in his time as the head coach who wanted to bring Brady into town after his time in Tampa. That said, Brian Flores, the lawsuit blew up. It revised the plan to pair Brady with Sean Payton, an effort that resulted in a massive tampering punishment, including the loss of a first-round pick, a $1.5 million fine, and a 6-week suspension of owner Stephen Ross. From a coaching standpoint, Flores fits the widespread trend of finding a coach who is the exact opposite of the last guy. Carroll was a rah-rah player, friendly coach. Flores is a non-nonsense and Belichickian. Really, Flores may be the closest thing to Belichick other than McDaniels currently in the league. If it is really the Tom Brady show in Vegas, Flores and DeBall could be the next Siegfried and Roy before things went Henry, that is. What do you think about this? Because Flores has done some exceptional work. I'm over here. Exceptional work. Saying it all wrong. In Minnesota this year. I mean, one of the funnest defenses to watch. The dude is just so aggressive, bro. He so many different looks, so many disguises. Flores has one of the top defensive minds in football. Brian DeBall, we've seen him, help develop Josh Allen into who he is today. We've seen him in year 1 with Jackson Dart. Go get him and bring him in. And we've seen what he can look like at times before all the injuries and, all these players being shelved, to the IR and stuff because of the tank. What's your thought process of potentially bringing in Flores a second time to be a head coach? And what I mean second time, you guys, is after the Miami debacle, bringing him into Vegas, which I know Max would love. And I think he would turn this into a top 10 unit, like in no time, defensively, and then bringing the ball as the OC.
Look, the Patriot way only works when you got Tom Brady as a quarterback, right? And if Fernando Mendoza is anything close, like mentality-wise, to Brady, it might work, right? But having Flores and DeBall as a head coach, OC combination, is an insane introduction for a rookie QB. Mm-hmm. Like the levels of toxic behavior will either break a rookie QB or turn them into Aaron Rodgers. And it's like, I don't know if I want to gamble on guys that are that. Look, we saw what it was like all over the league, having guys that are trying to cosplay as Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. It's never worked.
Yeah.
The one thing I love about Vrabel is that Vrabel is not trying to be Bill Belichick. Vrabel is Vrabel. Mm-hmm. Fucking, Brian DeBall is a guy that gets credited for his development of Josh Allen. Right now, look, he took like his first year in Buffalo. I think they were the third worst in the league, and then he took them to a top 5 unit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part and parcel because of the ascension of a stud like Josh Allen. When he tried to go and do that again with Daniel Jones, it did not quite work.
No,
it didn't work, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man. I mean, under Joe Judge, the team in New York was 31st, and they jumped to 15th under DeVal, but then they regressed to the bottom of the league in the next two years. And I think his act kind of wore thin. I just need a coach that's a tough coach, but I don't need one of these guys that are a complete and total asshole, because you lose locker rooms, you break young players' spirits. And I don't know if we can go through another Patriot way nonsensical situation, right? Like I want a court. What I want is, man, I want a head coach that is a play caller, because a lot of times we have a defensive head coach like Brian Flores. What winds up happening is, if they do have a good team, the offensive coordinator leaves and gets another job, and then now you're scrambling to try to replace it, i.e. Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson.
Agreed. Can I add something to that? I think that you're onto something here.
Warm it up, Graphk.
But also, I believe that having a Flores in the building that doesn't have anything to do with the offense, the ball, in a sense, is kind of his own head coach. Like what happened this year, Pete Carroll getting in the way of Chip Kelly, right? Like him wanting to have his fingerprints over this whole entire team on both sides of the football. Flores is going to allow the ball. This is your offense. I have nothing to do with this. I'm going to be the guy that keeps this thing structured, keeps these guys disciplined, but that is your side of the football. Yes, I'm the head coach. I'm going to run this defense. You are a former head coach yourself. You run, and a former playoff, a coach as well. I'm just saying, I believe that Flores, this will be a great pairing, because again, they both are good at one thing. One is good at defense. The other is good at offense. You don't have to be a head coach, the ball. You can just go out there and focus on one side of the football. I think it'd be a good pairing, Wasted.
So if he's anything like Bill Belichick, that's exactly what's not going to happen.
No one's like Belichick.
What I'm saying is, no coach allows somebody to have total autonomy of one side of the football that's that major. He's never going to give Brian DeBall that side of the ball and just let him cook, because that's not what he did in Miami. That's not what he did in Miami, and that's part and parcel of the reason why he's not there anymore.
He called Tua a hoe because he was a hoe. I mean,
look, he was right. But what I'm saying is that it wasn't like it ain't like he fucking turned a blind eye to the offense. It's not like he's Rex Ryan. Like Brian Flores, the attention to detail that you get from a guy like a Bill Belichick, he's never going to do that. And the problem I have with Brian DeBall is that what is the one common denominator with how he runs his offense with his quarterbacks? He gets these big, strong, physical guys who can run, right? Mm-hmm. And he puts them in situations where they get the absolute stuffing beat out of them. I don't want that guy in my building if I got a young quarterback. Josh Allen is like a mountain man, right? But I see Josh Allen's career going the way of Cam Newton's. I see once he starts getting closer to 35, 36 years old, he'll break it down, because he be getting smacked. Mm-hmm. Jackson Dart getting smacked. Daniel Jones,
concussion protocols already.
Yeah. Daniel Jones getting smacked, hit, design runs.
His game is a little different though.
His game, he can run his ass off. That's what we call him, Vanilla Vic, right?
Vanilla Vic,
not as tough as these guys are. But the thing is, there were a lot of design runs, and what did that come to? It came to him being hurt a lot under Brian DeBall. Yeah. And that's the reason why he's in Indianapolis.
You know what I said, and I want your opinion on this. And you were cooking. Salute the Waste. He's absolutely making his case to why not to bring these guys into the building with that pairing, of course. I think whoever's in the building needs to sit down with Cignetti at some point, the head coach of Indiana, and just talk to him. I think this is before the head coach or before the OC is even named. I think Spytek and Brady need to say, hey, Mendoza's our guy. What do you believe will be? He needs to consult with him. What would be the best head coach to bring in that you think would work with this kid? Because you unlocked everything that he didn't have at Cal, at Indiana. And again, some people say everything is perfect for him out there, right? The O-line, the defense, the run game. I hear you. I get it. But the number one
the brain trust of all that is the quarterback position. And he has been phenomenal. There's a reason he's a Heisman Trophy winner. He went out there, he was exceptional this year. But if I'm Brady and Spytek, I am flying out to the next game and I'm going to sit down and have a consultation with Signet. Like, look, bro, who is the guy? This is if we lose today and we lock down the number 1 spot, of course. And even if we have the number 2, you guys, if I told Waste that I don't think this is the Jets year. They have 3 first-round picks next year in a phenomenal quarterback class. I think they're going to skip this year. I think they'll just, Aaron Glenn will run this shit to the ground next year, and they'll get their quarterback and then some in next year's draft. I believe Arizona, because of those young guys that they have out there, they have a nice young trio on the offensive side of the football, like a very, very good trio. Like there's a kid out there that not a lot of people really truly know about this year with Wilson, who's been phenomenal. He's over 900 yards receiving. They have Marvin Harrison, who has not been able to really get it all put together yet. They have Trey McBride, who's the number 1 tight end in football right now because of the down season of Brock, because of the injuries, of course. But I think they're going to potentially move on from Gannon. And I think that with Kyler on the way out, they're moving on from him. Whether they cut him or trade him, whatever it is, I think they're going to go all in for a quarterback to try and take advantage of the time they have with this young trio. And we're not even talking about Benson and those guys yet at the running back position. So I think even at 2, we'll have a chance to potentially move up 1 spot if we don't get the number 1 spot to get Mendoza. But keep an eye on Arizona. But I digress. I say, look, man.
Look, this is the problem with that, though, right? You need for Dante Moore to be in this draft. If you don't have Dante Moore in this draft, like quarterbacks add value to the first and the second pick, right? Especially when it's like 3 or 4 guys that people like, right? So when you're in the top 5, it almost adds more value to that particular pick. I don't necessarily know whether people have Fernando Mendoza as high as I do, or as high as you do, or as high as a guy like Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's evaluation for what a quarterback is doesn't have as much to do with measurables. You hear the stuff that he talks about, leadership and this and this and that. Most people in the NFL don't evaluate quarterbacks that way. Most people in the NFL are bad at evaluating quarterbacks. That's why it's not a lot of great ones, right? So when you talk about Arizona, if Dante Moore is in the draft, Arizona might be making their move to get Dante Moore, and we could sit right where the hell we are and get Fernando.
Yeah, of course we could be,
and that's if Brady and Spytek won him.
I just think the Giants may be potentially overvaluing the number 1 spot because of them thinking they can trade back and pick up all kind of additional assets.
This ain't that kind of a draft.
I don't think so either.
I think the Giants might be stuck into a financial spot where they're stuck with that pick, and then they have to go out there and pick somebody that's not a quarterback at 1. They'll have to go out there and draft like a left tackle. It'll be like the Jake Long year.
Well, it's a yay for me in terms of the Flores DeBall pairing, and I've talked about that pairing for a while now, and it's a nay for Mr. Wasted Talent. And we'll see. Once again, we're going to have –
look, if it happens by happenstance, if we don't get – the only way I'm on board with that is if we don't get the number 1 pick and you bring in a veteran quarterback, like as a placeholder or something like that they don't just break.
Well, again, I think if we don't secure this number 1 spot,
but I don't want those guys, either one of them. F them.
I know, but I believe that Spytek and Brady are going to say, okay, well, Cincinnati, this is your chance to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, out there. Give us Burrow, take this first, the second pick, and whatever. Or it could be Baltimore with Lamar. It could be several other situations. But there's going to be a ton of different opportunities for these guys to potentially locate the quarterback. But the easiest way here, Wasted, is just to lose today and not
just lose and don't be stupid. And this is the thing, for me, if these guys were truly, all in on the tank, right? They fired Pete Carroll this morning. They fire his ass. They fire his ass this morning.
I don't believe so, bro.
Get him the F up out of here and say, hey, listen.
He's the real tank commander. Wasted. I mean, we keep calling Gino the tank commander. Pete is the tank commander. He is the one that controls Brennan Carroll.
All his dumbass decisions.
No foresight at left tackle. Bro, without Pete, this shit, to be honest, Pete is going to go down as a legend in Raider Nation if we get Fernando Mendoza.
Salute to Pete, right? But the thing is, I'm talking about really, really going in there and just being like, look, we're playing all rookies. We ain't playing Genty. He's a rookie too. We're playing Dylan Labe. We're playing Premier White so we can get no yards.
Let him keep doing what he's doing. Look, at this point, if we get Mendoza and he's the guy, Pete was essentially a suicide bomber for us. It was just like, boom, got your quarterback, 2-15, walking to the promised land and retire.
That was such poor choice of wording, bro. that was guys, listen, man. That was terrible. That was terrible.
Oh man, let's get these supers here real quick. Raider Bubba, let's go get this number 1 pick. Fernando. Salute to our guy Bubba in the building. Salute to Insight. What's up with the dynamic duo? Do y'all think the Maxx trade talks are real, or are beat writers just using clickbait to get us Raider fans up and on? I'll say this. It's been as real as it's been the last 3 or 4 seasons. Okay. Again, the team says they want to keep him. They just brought him back. Maxx has said numerous times he wants to be here, and he came back. And look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to believe it until he's gone. Look, they've said this now for several years. The national media hates the Raiders so bad that they would love to see the Raiders trade their best player. It just is what it is. And again, I understand the sense behind him, back-to-back years, having surgery, and the injuries are starting to pile up. This is still a guy that has played through these injuries, and he would be playing today if it was up to him. So again, look, I said this on yesterday's show, Wasted. They're going to continue to say this shit until they're right so they can say they were right.
Hold on. Let me read this to you. Raiders rumors. Should the Raiders be worried that Maxx will want to be traded? It's been a long season for the Las Vegas Raiders, right? And at the end of just 2 games left on the schedule at week 17 and their matchup against potentially Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Do you guys see this, right? In my opinion, Crosby comments are concerned about his future in Las Vegas. He's made it no secret he wants to win now and doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. And it seems like the instability in Las Vegas makes Maxx Crosby want to be traded. Now, guys, this is an article from December 2024, right? I'm going to go back to let's go back to 2023. Maxx Crosby.
Cook.
Let's go back then. 49ers shed some light into the new Maxx Crosby trade.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, there have been Maxx Crosby trade rumors
for years.
2022. It is now 2026. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, again, this is not us, you guys, saying it can't happen, but we're just going to laugh this off until it happens. Because, again, this shit has consistently happened year in and year out. And Maxx continues to, get extensions and sticks around and keeps telling you guys he wants to be a Raider, keeps telling the world he wants to be a Raider. I mean, what else? Yes, he's upset he didn't play the last 2 games of 2 meaningless games at the end of the season and potentially lie. You know what, man? Hey, I'm Pete Carroll or I'm Spy Tech. You know what, Maxx? You are so good that we're worried you may keep us from getting our quarterback. We got to sit you, buddy. We got to sit you, buddy. You're that good. We have to sit you because we believe that you can go out there and dominate this Chiefs team, dominate this Giants team, and potentially win these next 2 games. We got to sit you, man. Get ready for next year. Get prepared. We're going to get our quarterback. We're going to be firing on all cylinders next year with all this money we have. Just sit down a little bit.
You know what I say to Maxx?
I think besides the ego a ton.
I'll be like, Maxx, you know what, man? You know why I'm sitting you? Because I can. And your knee is mashed potatoes right now. Go get your fucking surgery. This season doesn't mean shit. And if you're that competitive, go play NBA 2K in your fucking basement. I don't want to hear your crap. And if you don't want to be here anymore, then just go to the media and tell them you don't want to be here anymore. Now, if you do, shut the fuck up and let me build this thing if you're tired of losing. I'm sick of catering to, and Maxx hasn't said anything publicly.
Oh,
right? But I know that he watches every fucking thing, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Maxx, I will humbly say into the camera right now, man, if you want to win, let motherfuckers do their job. You go out there, go get your surgery, and just like relax, bro. Fucking relax, man. And if you don't want to be here and you're tired of losing, then fucking listen, bro. I've been a conversation will be had. And press on, motherfucker. Because listen, I was a Raider fan before you were born.
But the good thing is this, right? Wasted, regardless if it is the move. This is a great time for both because the age will be 29 next August, right? The injuries are starting to pile up. The Raiders are in a clear rebuild. Now, this is no longer a retool, bringing in another coach that thinks they can get it done in year 1. This is officially a rebuild. So, this is the perfect time to do so because this is probably the last chance that you can potentially fetch 2 first-round picks from Maxx. Again, I do not want to move on from Maxx. I think that Maxx wants to be
I
here.
don't either.
I want to keep him around. You don't move your best players just to move your best players. But again, if you're going to do it, this is the time to do it.
I don't want to either. But what I will say is this, right? A lot of people like, I said I want like the Khalil Mack package, and everybody's like, no, he's 28.
Yeah.
Guess what? Khalil Mack was 27. We traded him.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and it'd be good for both parties at this point because we fetch our picks, and he'll probably go to a contender. All the teams that you're seeing out there that are tied to him, the Cowboys, they went and got Quinnen Williams. They have a ton of talent on that roster, and they could put it together next year. They'll get a better DC. They struggle. They're one of the worst defenses in football this year. He would help fix that. New England, one of the top teams in football. Chicago, which would hurt our souls to have another Khalil Mack situation, but it just is what it is. All these teams that are being tied to him are contenders at this point. So either way, it'd be a win for both of us. I mean, we'd probably be getting in the 20s first-round picks, but it just is what it is at this point for a 20.
Listen, it's still ammunition. In the Khalil Mack trade, if we're being honest, the Raiders really won that trade.
We fumbled it because of the picks.
Yeah, we fumbled it, but they won the trade even just because they got Josh Jacobs out of that.
You know what? I value an edge rusher.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, had they not fucked it up completely, they would have won that trade because they did win it. Because Chicago didn't win shit. Khalil Mack is on the Chargers now. So to me, they won it. Like, you make a trade like that because you think Khalil Mack is going to be fucking Reggie White.
Yeah,
he's going to power you to a world championship.
Which he was great in Chicago, but he couldn't get it done on his own.
They didn't win. I don't even know if they won a playoff game.
They got to the playoffs. I know that. I think
did they? I don't know if they won a playoff.
I don't think they did.
They didn't win one. So the Raiders won that trade. The Raiders actually went out there and drafted a guy who is one of the best running backs of his generation.
Hey, and we got to a playoff game with Jacobs.
Yeah,
right.
He ran us right there. It's not even a push, and that was with two morons making the picks.
Factory outlet. Salute the hug.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on, Graphk. I resemble that comment, man. Hey, Wasted, man. You got a lot of opinions today, man. What have you ever won in your life, huh? You fucking jackwagon. What have you ever won? I'm sick of your crap. Let me tell you something, Wasted, man. Listen, man. Everybody and their mother wanted Alex Leatherwood. Everybody and their mother wanted Jonathan Abram. I mean, man, did you see that guy? Colored his hair like a goddamn highlighter.
Damon Arnett, baby. The GOAT.
Damon Shotgun Arnett, man. Let me tell you something, man. One of the best players I've ever seen in my life, man. It wasn't my fault that he wanted to be a drill rapper, man. It wasn't my fault, man. Listen to a little much Chief Keef, a little too much King Von, man.
Stealing females' wallets and phones and shit. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm telling you right now. I mean, pretty soon he's OnlyFans. Hey, listen, Graphk, I just had to pop in, one last time, man. Great season. Hey, Pete, man, thank you for taking the stink off of my tenure as a Raider coach, man. You've been so bad that you want people wanting me back. For a third time's a charm, man. Maybe we go 0-18 with me.
Salute to Gruden popping up for the first time in 2026. Salute to Hub. Can we get just one Pegues fullback blocking play? I want to see Genty run at least 2 yards before contact this year. Salute to our brother Hug. We've been calling for that for many moons now, bro. For many moons. Salute to, we need a quarterback. We get a number one pick. It's in the scriptures. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, brother. I'm hoping and praying because, again, both your brothers, Graphk and Wasted here, had dreams last night of the Raiders fumbling the bag.
Well, I woke up in a cold sweat like James Brown. I was like,
well, look, James Brown is always in a cold sweat. So, yeah,
baby, wake up in a cold sweat.
It is. Salute to Raiders since birth. Who's the best coach for Fernando Mendoza? To be determined. Once again, I just put out, a thought that whoever it is, we need to go out there and talk to Cignetti, that head coach that just signed an 8-year extension with Indiana, and see if he thinks Kubiak can be the guy, if LaFleur can be the guy. Whoever it is, I don't know. But I think that Tom Brady and Spytek are smart enough to understand they can take a look at Indiana and say, this is what worked, this is what didn't work, adopt certain philosophies from what they got going on, and still, we know that the college game is different than the NFL game. So, but I don't know. Honestly, I have no clue who they would think would be the best. I mean, it officially be an offensive-minded head coach. right? Wasted. I would think that it would be at least an offensive-minded guy.
Yeah, it should be. It should be, because you want to have that head coach and the quarterback like kind of merged at the hip in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Like in the old Mike Shanahan, John Elway, the Mike Holmgren, Brett Favre.
Yep.
Brett Favre. Yo, this is what we need. I mean, look, I'm going to really, really lay it out for you guys. If you have a situation where Fernando Mendoza is here, you have to, like Graphk said, you have to talk to Cignetti, right? Because this is a guy who is a Nick Saban disciple. Now, who has ties to Nick Saban? Bill Belichick. You got to go talk.
Ties to who?
Brian Flores,
Flores, and
you're both
Brady.
And look, but rarely is the second act of the Flores regime as good as the first act. We had Tom Flores; he has 2 Super Bowls here. We have Brian Flores that have no playoff wins.
I don't know about you.
Go get Kubiak. The F up out of here with your crap. Or go get LaFleur or somebody like that. LaFleur, Shkoshka.
Something about knowing my head coach or call my quarterback a bitch, it's intriguing to me. I just like the thought process of being like, hey, bro, you a bitch, you soft. What you gonna do about it? I like that, man. I don't know what it is.
Did he call Tua a bitch?
Something like that.
He didn't call him a bitch. Now you tripping, bro.
I think he called him not the guy. He's soft, or I forgot what.
Yeah, it wasn't like he's hey bitch.
Hey, he called him. He hit him with the 2 short for sure. Salute to CGR, gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships. Salute to CGR, our guy, man. Salute to all the new members in the building because of CGR. If you want to become members of the channels, hit the links, they're pinned up top. Again, it helps us keep the lights on over here at Shieldmore. CGR, our brother, we appreciate you. We got almost 1,300 strong in the building. Salute to you guys. As always, it's the last week of the season. This is the last Graphk and Wasted and Graphk show of the season. But understand this, you guys. We are going to be active all off season long. This is when we really get in our bag.
Doubling down.
We're going to be in our draft bag. We're going to be in our free agency bag, our coach bag. We're going to have a ton of fun. Don't think for once, just because the Raiders are done today, that we're done. This is our really our season. Honestly, there's no off season over here for Shieldmore at all. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button on both channels, and stick around because you're going to get some great content in the off season. Salute to John B. Raider. What would happen if we end up with a tie? What if would it just classify as a win, but lose and secure Mendoza? I think he said, but let's just lose and secure Mendoza. Honestly, I have not done my homework on the whole tie. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter talking about that. Really, I have no information on that. I really do not know. I think that would be dependent on the Giants winning or losing, right? It'd have to be.
Yeah.
So I know that changes things in terms of strength of schedule, but I don't know how. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I'm not gonna sit here and just try to act like I know what the hell's going on if we get a tie. So Dwayne, yes, consult with Cignetti if Mendoza is first pick. Any coach needs familiarity with the Shanahan offense. Talk that talk, my brother Johnny Wade, a guy that is out there in Indiana and is an Indiana fan. So he is born and raised out there and knows probably more about Cignetti than any of us. Salute to my guy Johnny Wade. Always good to see my brother in the building. Salute to Nav Man as well in the building. It was said earlier that IU is playing low-level competition. Wait, what? Big Ten champs beat the reigning champs, OSU and Oregon, Bama. Yeah, exactly, Nav. That's why I just laugh at this shit, man. I laugh at all this shit, bro. I laugh at all of it because it's like, come on, man. This dude has beat Oregon. He's beat Alabama in the playoff.
What Alabama team guy got to do, bro? You guys want to go and dig up the 2002 Miami Hurricanes team and beat them too, you fuckers?
I know.
Just shut up with your crap.
Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Salute to Raiders since birth. Graphk for OC, Wasted for DC. Hey, man, I was a receiver. You know, Wasted was a linebacker. Let's run it, man. We'll get Hammer as the head coach, man. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Oh, my God. Those would be the best. Those would be the best fucking pregame speeches from Hammer.
Yeah.
It'd be like Marty Schottenheimer. There's a gleam, man.
Come on, Graphk. Why did you call that on 3rd and 12, Graphk?
Like, bro.
Shit in my hands and clap.
That's right. Listen, listen. If you want to lose, shit in your hands and clap. If you want to win, hit that sub. I don't know what the fuck.
Salute to Nav, man. Frank Wasted Caliendo in the house, man. Facts, man. I don't know if anybody does the whole John Gruden spit. Well, you know what? I'm not. Wasted doesn't do it. That's actually Gruden. So
I know. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you guys know this. This is actually Gruden that pops in from time to time from Barstool and just talks his shit. So, yeah, man. Salute to my guy Hug on a bomb. My dog, man. Appreciate you. We're finally caught up on the chat as well. With last year being chalked up to the Pete doing Pete-ish, this will be the real first year of can Spy Tech reverse the Raider way of the last 15 years. The deepest, darkest, ugliest truth going forward is can Spy with real control bring us greatness. And the thing is, Hug, is he going to have full control? Because everybody keeps alluding to the fact that this is going to be the Brady special, that Brady has full autonomy. What is it? What's the word? Wasted?
Autonomy.
Autonomy. I'm struggling with words today. Wasted. It's too early for this shit. But I know they're a package deal. I know they're friends. Michigan days, Tampa won a championship together. I get it. But again, how much more control? I mean, how much control or power is he really going to truly have?
He's going to have power, bro. Like this is an actual organization. The GMs, and Brady is like, the air quotes, de facto team president. That's what happens when you have a team president in the building. He's over the GM, right? In a certain sense, right? But or director of football operations, kind of like what Bruce Allen was with the Raiders, right? If Brady is doing that, like behind the scenes. Yeah, that's something that, you have to defer to the GM when it comes to personnel decisions, because they are the ones who is doing all the scouting when you're running around on Fox. The thing that Spy Tech will probably have to confer with Brady and the owner, and every GM has to do this, is who you hire for head coach, how much you're going to pay him, what your strategy is and why you're hiring them, and things of that nature. But when you start talking about, I don't think that John Spy Tech is going to have to run the Tom Brady for every roster.
No. I agree. I think that Brady respects and really truly believes in Spy Tech and is going to give him a ton of pull to go out there and do whatever he wants to do. But again, I just believe that Brady's going to have his fingerprints all over this football team on both sides of the ball, coaching staff and everything. And that's just what happens when you have a Brady in the building. Don't think for once that Mark brought him in to be a partial owner just because, it's Tom. He wants his fingerprints all over this football team. Just is what it is. So, but again, I like Spy Tech, and I believe that last year's draft, although a lot of people are calling it a dub, which we got to blame Pete Carroll for that. I think that some of those players, the Charles Grants, the Caleb Rogers, your guy, is going to be really good football players for this team. I still believe in Jack Besh. I think he's going to be a phenomenal wide receiver 2 for us, a high end 2, like Jacoby was for us. And I believe that some of those other picks, Ashton Genty is going to be a phenomenal running back for us on the down season. It was ugly with that O-line. I really believe that his draft is going to be a good class. It's going to be a good class. I'm excited to see what he can do now with the number 1 spot, going to get the quarterback and seeing what he does around that. I put this out on Twitter. I don't think that he's going to go out there and just go get an offensive lineman back-to-back early on just because. He just took 2 in the 3rd round last year, wasted that didn't get a ton of burn this season. I think that there's so many holes on this roster. We need 2 or 3 corners. We need 3 or 4 linebackers. We need another edge rusher. We potentially need another defensive tackle. We need a wide receiver 1. We need 2 safeties. Like, there's a ton of holes. I'm sorry for those who think that Spy Tech's going to potentially go into this draft and just go get offensive linemen. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he approaches that in
the agency. Bro. That's the best way to do it. Like, the Raiders need
love you, bro. Appreciate
starters. They need starters, bro. They don't need to develop any more players, bro. You need people that are playing. Yeah. Like, look, on the defensive line, yeah, it's good to have some young guys. But when you have a commodity like a quarterback that you're drafting young, you got to be damn well sure that he's not going to get his head knocked off in the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
It's better to have young guys on the defensive line because you can have those guys in and out and it doesn't really affect their play. Yeah. Offensive linemen, you pretty much got to roll with the guys you got. And you have to make sure that unit is solidified. You have good backups, capable backups, but the first 5 got to be you can't wait all season for these guys to figure it out.
Facts.
Go out there and go get some free agents like we did back during car insurance.
And I think, as crazy as it sounds, as much of a shit show as the Raiders have been wasted, I think that we are the best position for Fernando Mendoza. I really, truly do. I think
so too.
I think that Brady is going to put his arm around him and help coach him up, develop him up behind the scenes, make sure that he is the guy. I mean, it's just great to see like the spiritual warrior in Vegas, like kind of changing the ties of the whole, dark side, Las Vegas. I think it's a great story right there. If he goes to the Jets, he can die a miserable death.
He's a Jedi, man. He's a Jedi. He is coming in as Luke Skywalker.
Talk that.
That's right. He's bringing the Force to Las Vegas.
Mario, it's not going to happen. Mike Evans will retire a buck. There's no way that he leaves. I know the connection with Spy Tech makes sense, but there's no reason to bring in a guy that's well into his 30s as well. He'll retire a buck, and he'll go down as the greatest wide receiver probably ever in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he already is that. There's no one else that you can even mention.
Well, Tim Brown. Tim Brown was out there for a year, and he's the GOAT. So it is what it is.
Yeah, but not for Tampa. He's the Udonis Haslam of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's the Dwayne Wade of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Salute
to Fogtown, man, becoming a member. I don't know what channel it is, but we just appreciate you, brother. If you guys want to become members like Fog, hit the links. They're pinned up top, man. Appreciate you, brother, and welcome to green.org. Get off my lawn game. So the Chappie, Adam Stinovich is another name, Michigan guy. Yeah, I think we stay away from the college level this year. I really do. I don't think that there's too many college guys that are coming up the rankings this year that are going to be getting hired. I don't.
So I'd be calling them Adam Binovich. We don't want him here. The F up out of here with your crap, Chappie boss.
I want to see some. Where the hell? Where is he right now? He's always with Green Bay. I'm tripping. Okay, I thought he was actually.
Yeah, still ask them. He's been a bitch. We're cool.
So he is the offensive coordinator for Green Bay. My apologies. I definitely butchered that one. Why would you want the offensive coordinator out there knowing it's like hiring Greg Olsen as your head coach? Like honestly, bro, like real talk, like that's not his offense. He's literally out there running LaFleur shit.
Yeah, man. The LaFleur Shkoshka.
Yeah. So the insight. Brew kills me every time. He's right about Leatherwood, though.
Right, man.
Oh my God. But look, I'm not saying he's not a good O-line, a good O-line coach. But again, why are you look? If you want to bring him in as that, be my guest. But he's not going to go from an offensive coordinator to an O-line coach.
Man, listen, what I'm thinking is that the Raiders need to go knock on the door. Go see wherever Alex Leatherwood's bagging groceries.
Yeah,
go bring him back in, put him right at right tackle, baby. Resurrect the Leatherwood, man.
I think the only coach, Chappie, that they would potentially look at to bring in, which I think is very low on the list of head coaches that is carrying someone else's playbook, is LaFleur out there with the Rams and McVay because of the McVay connection. I understand the LaFleur connection as well, but again, I think they're going to want to bring somebody in that has their own playbook. We've seen what that thing looked like with LaFleur calling the O with the Jets, right? It was really, really bad. Mm-hmm. So if they're going to go O, it's probably going to be the guy that just beat the 49ers last night, honestly. Or it could be a Shula, who's a defensive-minded guy that can really bring in and locate the offensive guy to run the offensive side of things. But I don't know. There's not really – honestly, wait a second. How many guys are you really high on to be the head coach? Like, honestly, like – Three. Okay. Who are the three guys for you?
Shula, LaFleur, Kubiak.
Shula, LaFleur, Kubiak. Okay. In that order?
No.
Okay. In what order are you looking at?
Kubiak.
Okay. So he's the number one.
Kubiak's the number one guy.
Okay.
Shula's the number two guy. And then matter of fact, and then the fourth guy, Jesse Minter, I wouldn't be mad at that either. Okay. Right. But he's a defensive guy, so I gotta put him,
I'm just worried. I don't want another Brandon Staley situation.
No, I don't either, right? And that's the reason why I got him fourth, right? He doesn't have a whole lot of experience. And Kurt Signetti, everybody keeps saying that guy's not leaving college.
He's got an 8-year deal.
He's got an 8-year deal. Those guys make more money in college. They have more autonomy. They pretty much control, like, there's no salary cap really because college.
He has Mendoza's brother coming in to be the next quarterback one. The story tells itself.
It's a much better. Being a college coach is like being a king of your own kingdom. Yeah. It is a much better job than being an NFL coach. The grind of the NFL. Yeah. Like when you're a college coach, you get everything installed and you have your recruiters and your boosters and everything in place. It like runs itself. Like Nick Saban was going to national titles on autopilot for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
That F are we talking about here?
And he's a god in that area. I've been out there several times. Went out there for the combine, went out there for the Raiders Colts. That dude is a god in that area. There's no way He's leaving.
He is the Bobby Knight of football. All he has to do is like throw a chair at somebody.
That's why I always laughed about people thinking they're going to get Freeman. He's a god in South Bend. Like he's not going to go anywhere until the right situation presents itself.
I don't know about him being a god in South Bend. I don't know about him.
Bro, he is, bro. People love him. People love him.
They love him now. You know how Notre Dame is. You're here for a good time, not a long time.
I know
you've been a Notre Dame fan a long time, bro.
Yeah. Salute to
remember Tyrone Willingham and all that shit?
I remember all of them.
Yo, oh my God. He's like a civil rights leader and all this bullshit. And then a year and a half later, he wasn't there no more.
Well, we're going to win a national title next year, so I'm not even worried about it. So the abstract, looking forward to this last Pete Carroll post-game presser. Praise the Lord. Hopefully we don't even get one. I don't even want to hear it. I just want to just everybody just walk to their cars, go home, and let's keep it moving. Simple and plain. But you're going to hear about him being fired probably or retired probably immediately after the game, win or lose. He's gone. He's gone. We've been saying this since day one. Hey, and actually, you know what? Maybe we got to do our homework a little bit more because, again, I thought you guys were talking about I'm going to be keeping a buck here. I didn't even know who the hell Stenavich was. I've heard the name.
Stenavich, he's a guy. He's not a guy that he's not on my radar as a head coach. And to be honest with you, man, like Pete Carroll, they need to take him out the pasture like old Yeller.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yo, salute to everybody here. And he said, I know you miss Charlie Weiss, Graphk, man. Charlie High Stakes Weiss.
Yeah, Charlie Weiss Jr. is a damn good coordinator, though.
Yeah, I miss Lou. That's who I miss. I miss Lou.
Lou Holtz.
I miss Lou.
Yeah, Lou up there lying his ass off every week. Oh, you know, I'm telling you, it's a real tough team, man. We're playing Coastal Carolina. We got to get prepared for Coastal Carolina. Yeah, blow their doors off 80-0. Remember Lou Holtz with that crap?
Yeah. Hey, MGs, I am sure Pete is gone. Bro, we've been talking about it. Everybody, this is gonna be he's gone. He's gone.
Yo, did they say it like that? That's how they said it, bro.
He's gone.
Oh, it's gonna be he's gone. Yo, bro, I gotta clip that. Yo,
he's gone.
Look, the uncertainty and shame. Look
at CGR with that fire content. Salute to my guy, man. Salute to Christ-like, the general. I'm looking for the Giants to lose because Dallas does not want them to have the number one pick either. Oh, yeah, of course. And this is a division rival, man. You know what I mean? They're going to go out. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like Dallas is playing their starters and they're trying to win a ball game on the way out. They don't care about draft positioning.
I don't know about that. You know, Jerry Jones ass. He's up there with his ruler and everything, ready to go in the locker room for the draft.
We're not signing anything that's under 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man.
Hey, Jamie, is that big enough for you?
Oh my God. Yo, Christ like look like Jay Reed, in Too Deep.
That might be him.
Yo, is that Jay Reed in Too Deep?
Yo, were you out there firing out the window, bro, missing everything moving? It looked like it. It looked like it. Salute, man, to everybody here in the building. As always, you guys get those likes up. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, pay your bar tabs, hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. Again, you guys, we have some early games with some very much major implications, on the line for us to get that number one spot. Keep an eye on. These are the games we should be watching early on. Cincinnati, again, they have Cleveland at home. Because of strength of schedule, that helps us a lot if Cincinnati beats Cleveland. Also, another early game, Dallas, Giants. If the Giants beat them, it doesn't even matter. We have the number one spot. In a perfect world, Giants win, and we go beat the Chiefs. That'd be fun. One more win on the way out.
Yeah, man. Listen, look, bro. It'd be like a damn party. The watch party would be a real party.
Yeah,
right.
Max.
Like if we could just get off the schneid, have going into it with the number one pick.
Yep.
Then release the hounds. But at the end of the day, I don't need that level of stress in my life. New York Giants, you effing bums. I hate all your fans. I live in the area. Do me one solid once of your miserable effing lives. Go out there and beat the crack boys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys anyway. Just go and do the Lord's work, you effing bum.
It would help me. I live in Dallas. I would love to be able to call
beat them.
I would be able to
beat them, you effing bums.
Call a few of the homies like, yo, y'all lost to the Giants on the way out. Like, that's crazy.
Go and beat them. Is that in New York or is it down there?
In New York, where the Giants have not won one game yet this year.
Yeah, it's freezing outside. Go show them the kind of men you really are in East Rutherford, and then go get a slice on me. Pizza all around if you guys win this game.
Once again, Cincinnati needs to beat Cleveland in Cincinnati. Giants have Dallas in New York, well, Jersey. And then again, there's another game, early game to keep an eye on, you guys. Atlanta and New Orleans. It is in Atlanta.
Kyler Shuck.
Falcons 7-9. New Orleans playing really well right now, 6-10. So if New Orleans beats Atlanta, that helps us again with the strength of schedule. But because of the Niners losing to the Seahawks, we would need also Detroit to beat Chicago in the late game today, which would help. Well, the midday game that would help through strength of schedule if we win.
So Knicks.
Yeah, Bo Nix. There's several scenarios out there, you know what I mean, that we're looking at here. So let me catch up on the chat real quick. Boom.
Scheme, plot. We are coming for that number one spot.
Talk. You know what's crazy, man? I didn't expect the Niners. I hate the Niners probably more than anybody because I'm from Northern California. But I didn't expect them, you guys, to help us, Laker Nation, back-to-back weeks. They helped us last week by beating Chicago. So I'm not expecting them. I wasn't expecting them to help us back-to-back weeks.
The 40 vaginas.
There you go. 40 of them. Yeah. Like definitely like OG pussy.
Oh, you talk about Vanessa Del Rio, Ebony Eyes.
Yeah.
This is what we talking about here. We talk about a little Jenna Jameson here.
Yeah, little Jenna. Little splash of Jenna out there. Get those likes up, you guys. Get some questions in before we get out of here. Once again, we have about 5 minutes before the early games. We're not going to do a long hour and a half, 2 hour long.
No, I'm fading right now.
Yes, this is a quick show leading up to the early games. And then once again, me and Hammer will be doing the show, the play-by-play here in a couple hours. And then Wasted will be doing the late show after the game. So make sure you guys pull up.
And if it's something exciting to talk about, you always know the Tasmanian devil himself might just appear.
Yes. I mean, if something bad happens today, I think that I will make sure that I'm joining the Wasted Talent stream.
Oh my God. Graphk is probably gonna be in a fetal position, crying.
Yes.
Profusely. Why?
And again, you guys, for those who are worried about, are we going to keep Pete Carroll? There's been several reports in the last 24 hours. Ian Rapoport put it out there that they're expecting to move on. Jordan Schultz put a tweet out, I believe, this morning, or was it yesterday? Sources, the expectation is the Raiders head coach Pete Carroll will be one and done in Las Vegas. Whether that ends up being a firing or retirement, the Raiders coaching search is expected to be to cast a wide net with Tom Brady involved. So again, for those who are worried about the Raiders doing some Raiders shit and potentially bringing him back, trust and believe this is the last that we will see of Pete Carroll in the silver and black. And I think that they're going to clean house completely. Patrick Graham is gone. This is the last game you're going to see him call. We, of course, Brendan Carroll's out of there. Greg Olsen is gone. And he's kind of known this since day one, having to take over that offense. It's funny, the conversations that have been had behind the scenes. He kind of knew that he was kind of set up in this situation. You know, from what I've been he didn't tell me personally, but from what I've heard, you know, it's kind of like, we're just kind of just coaching to get out of here at this point. So expect an entire new coaching staff. Maybe Rob Leonard survives. Maybe our tight ends coach survives. I don't know. Maybe Dylan, our running backs coach, survives. I don't know yet. And yeah, is that the guy right there, Wasted? Is that the guy? Because I put a tweet out there. It's going to be funny when we watch the meltdown of Raider Nation on Twitter when Tom goes and gets his guy, Cliff Kingsbury, who had one really good year with Arizona as the head coach and then shit the bed, and then had a great one year in DC with Jaden Daniels and then shit the bed this year. You see it happening?
Bro, I definitely like the way things have gone with this organization, right? It's never who we want. It's never who we think. If this is the guy that would be it's never who we thought. This would be the guy. I think it would be a bad decision, right? But this is the guy, because that offense, man, that air raid offense, it works until they figure it out.
Let me ask you this. What if they made Cliff Kingsbury the head coach and brought in Flores and made him the highest paid DC like they tried to do with Robert Salah last year?
Well, that'd be great, but I don't think that Brian Flores, why would he leave the perfect situation for a shittier situation? He's leaving to be a head coach, or he's staying in Minnesota.
Well, I mean, money speaks, bro. I seen him at the presser. You know, the last presser he had say, you know, at the end of the day, this is a business. You know, like he loves Minnesota and stuff, but you know, things change. You know, in a nutshell, that's what he said. Like, you know, it's a business, bro. If you make him a very, very high end, the highest paid defensive coordinator in football in a no state tax spot. I mean,
he might be like our guy Isaiah Whitlock, rest in peace.
Yeah. Hey, and think about this too, Wasted. If Cliff Kingsbury shits the bed, but the defense is playing at a high level, right? He may end up being the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders if Cliff Kingsbury shits the bed. So I'm just saying there's so many different things that can happen, but yeah, that'd be crazy. It'd be wild, man. Salute to James on the way out with a $50 chain. Graphk Wasted. Happy New Year's, guys. What's your thoughts? First Kubiak as a head coach. Man, I'm telling you right now, he's been working wonders with that offense.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people aren't really excited about their ground game out there. But man, Sam Darnold looks very, very, very good this year. Jackson is the best wide receiver in football statistically. He has gotten the best out of that O-line and all those players on the offensive side of the ball. So if that's the pick, it's not been my favorite. It's not the sexy pickup for me, but I have no issue if they really truly believe in him. In Seattle's QB coach, assistant OC and QB coach to 15. Flores, DC or Salah. Man, that defense looked like dog shit last night. Again, they're missing Fred Warner. They're missing Bosa. They played a lot of soft coverage last night against that Seattle offense. They looked really, really bad. I watched the entire game, and I was pissed the fuck off. But Graphk, I did hear Tom wants Flores in the ball bad since this huge mess. Salute to my guy, James. I'll say this. That is just a rumor that Pro Football Talk put out there. Florio, another known Raider hater.
Again, and he puts those things out there because he uses sports gematria, right? Yeah. He puts this little line graph together and be like, okay, who was in the building at the time when Tom Brady was in the building? Oh, these two guys could possibly be. So they're Patriot guys and they worked together before. And Brady, so it's just all speculation. But Mike Florio is a ventriloquist dummy. He never has any real takes. He's an effing bum. You can't listen to anything that guy says. How often is that fucking moron right? Not very much, right? Mike Florio needs to go back to doing what he did before, being an ambulance chasing lawyer with a bad haircut. Get the F up out of here. I'm in a bad mood just in case the Raiders shit the bed. So I'm starting off in rare form, you effing bums.
You see, what's the name blocked me yesterday?
Yeah, Mike Silver blocked you, right? That's awesome. Why do you block so much?
I don't know.
You have a hateable face, bro. I think that's what it is. You're very
I'm gonna be honest. I look myself in the mirror in the morning. I want to punch myself sometimes.
Yeah, you have a very punchable face.
Yeah,
very.
You know what, bro? You do too, though. Like.
No, I don't. Like, listen, bro.
I've never liked Lord Jamar.
And a punchable personality.
I always wanted to punch Lord Jamar, like always, and like you are like the closest thing to it. It's like I just want to just.
I don't look anything like Lord Jamar at all. At all. And listen. If you ever dream about punching me in the face, you better wake up and apologize.
Yeah, bro, I told you. I just need one more week. One more week, bro.
Look, man, listen, man. My shit is still sharp. My shit's still sharp. I'm just letting you know.
Salute the rule. Vikings would block the move of Flores coming over here. A team can block a lateral move. Facts. And I believe, Rube, the Rams did that a few years ago as well. So you can definitely do that for a lateral move. Facts. But yeah, he blocked me. I called him a dork. And he said, oh, I got a podcaster in his feelings. And I'm like, feelings, bro? You just blocked me. Like, who has the fucking feelings?
Oh, man. Yo, you call him a dork? Why you call him a dork, man?
I mean, he's a dork. I just call him a dork. I get blocked.
Why?
And then the nation just went over there and killed his mentions.
You're so mean.
I think about 300 of us got blocked yesterday because he blocked me. Which
you're mean. You're very, very mean. Yo, the one thing that I'm glad the oppressive reign of the Undertaker is over. Brendan Carroll will be getting ran out of the door too. Rest in peace.
Yes. Salute the Rube. Same with the Rams and Shula. If he's not our head coach, LaFleur wouldn't be our OC because the Rams could, or wouldn't let both their coordinator leave and one for a lateral move. There you go, Ruben. And again, I think they did that a few years ago as well. Or was it last year? I forgot what the hell it was. They've done it before. Salute to Rube, my dog, man. Always coming through and blessing the channels, man. Salute to James again. Guys, do you see Hondo vids on Raiders? Should do coach trade to get big. Oh, my God. Let me say this, dog, okay? Look, we know that we've had Hondo over here several times on the channel. We also know that he blocked our brother Wasted for no reason whatsoever. I have no idea. It could have been sour sauce comments. I don't know. But dog, The Rams are not moving McVay. McVay will stay in LA. That's where he wants. They're on their way to potentially get into a Super Bowl here. Everybody at this point in time is just throwing shit at the wall and hoping this. That is if that's a real thing. If you put a video out, how dare you, bro? Like, come on.
If that's real, man. I mean, Hondo is literally like the primate cage at the zoo. He's just throwing and slinging animal dung everywhere with that lopsided. I mean, doesn't Hondo's head look like a bag of laundry? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, Hondo just looks like a bag of sour socks and bones.
The laundry that you lift in jail with the broomstick.
That's a little descriptive. I think that's your rapper background coming out. But no, I'm just talking about just a bag of laundry you just tossing the basement.
I've gotten my biceps right a few times with them shit. Hey, bro, them shits is heavy, bro.
Yeah, but that's what she said. But also, right? No, right.
But that shit is stupid. Like, what do we?
I mean, bro, the guy just literally, he's just online, just throwing out bullshit, and then he asks the worst question. Like, I never really said anything bad about Hondo, but I've never been a humongous Hondo guy. Like, right? Like, I think he's.
But we can respect, right? We can respect his stance and what he has going on. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean we have to agree with him, and we can always call him out on his shit because that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Hondo. I'm just not I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the takes that don't really have a lot of merit, right?
Yeah.
But he works hard. He puts a lot of content out, and I understand and I respect Hondo. I don't have a problem with him. I like him. It's a nice guy.
You get paid for clicks. It is what it is. You get paid for clicks. So I understand that sometimes you got to throw some wild shit out there. And again,
he's a decent man. You know what I'm saying? I just, for me, right? Like I am when I want to dive into seeing opinions of others, right? I don't like to come up with a lot of hypotheticals. I really like to dive into things that are actually tangible. And I think Hondo writes from a place sometimes where he is delving into what could happen.
Yeah.
If this and this and that, and that's not the way I choose to consume news about the team, right?
Exactly.
But it's no disrespect to Hondo.
Do you think, bro? Do you
salute to Hondo? And I'm just kidding around about the laundry stuff.
He's kidding around. Produced by Jay. That's the reason why we were like, we're good.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He came over here. He showed respect to our platform. Definitely. And if he blocked me, I have no problems with him blocking me because I don't give a shit.
Cut some jokes.
It's a joke, man. Uncle Sour Socks thing is a joke. Hondo's a good guy.
But we're definitely rooting for him. But again, you know, some things in this field it's hilarious. And Judo, we don't have any issue with beat writers. They're not coming after us. We don't have.
No, listen, I respect what the beat writers do. Look, I'm gonna say this. Your beat writers have they have a different job than we do, right? Especially when they're in a building, right? And then there are a lot of people that are in this medium, the podcast medium, where you got to understand, you guys don't have the kind of access that like we do, right? And one thing, we're doing our podcast in different states, but when we're moving around and shaking around and we see these players and we're going to keep that same energy, right? There are a lot of people that throw things out there because they don't have to worry about running into these players. These guys need the players to do their job.
Yeah, we don't.
Right? So I can say what I want. Yeah. Those guys need to be welcomed in the building. They need to make the players comfortable to talk to them, to give them stories. So they can't go into the locker room and be like, oh yeah, hey Max, we think you're overrated. Let me get a little story on the side here. Max, fuck you.
They can't be talking about. See, this is the thing. That's why I don't take any offense to any of that stuff. I've never seen him allude to anything like that. He said, "I noticed on X they're referring to you guys as no nothing. You guys we don't put.
We don't
put
confuse
that category. Like
there's not one of these guys who hasn't either tapped in with us or been on the show.
Yeah.
So we're
in with all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we're a different case. And guess what? In the offseason, we're going to bring a couple of them on just to show you guys the power of Shield more.
The top guys.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we don't, bro.
We've already locked that in. We've already got shit situated for the offseason already.
Yeah. All the beat writers respect what we do. We respect what they do.
Yeah.
Respect is a thing that is not going out of style. You know what I'm saying? We don't do the clout for currency kind of shit.
I mean, bro, like literally one of the voices of this shit says when they talk about these podcasters, they don't talk about you guys. Like this has been told, Wasted, that we're not in that category, bro. We actually have players on. We're NFL credentialed. We cover, live events for the NFL. We go out there and interview the young pups and bring them up, like, to our platforms. It's just different. So if you're talking about other platforms, cool. But I'd never take offense to any of that because we're not in that realm of what they're talking about. It's just not, that's not what it is. You can never question what we do when we bring active and former players on all the time and beat writers and people that are tied to the team. I mean, bro, the alumni parties were there front and center. It's like, bro, like we're not in that. So again, I'm not trying to like
shit on nobody, but sometimes you got to put your ashes out on the heads of
that conversation.
Yeah.
And not literally, and regardless of how you feel about JT, Wasted is literally on JT's show every week. He's a piece of that show, and he will continue to be going into this year. So, like the thing is, we're not in that category. And we'll get off of that. Salute to Hondo. Hopefully, he didn't put that video out because why would you want to sell to the nation that McVay is even an option? He's not. He's not an option for us. McVay would retire before he leaves, I believe, and go to another team. I just don't see it happening. Again, I would trade a pick for McVay all day, every day. I mean, he's probably the best head coach in football. But again, I don't think that's going to happen. But throwing some shit in the universe and for clicks, hey man, some people do it, some people don't. Salute to Michael. I believe Flores' contract is expiring. Raiders. Salute to Michael. We just talked about the Flores situation. I'm good with it. I would love to bring him in. Wasted just does not want to do that. So it's great that we have a different opinion on that because we usually agree on every single thing. So Drew, if we were to trade for a coach, I'd want Steichen. Yeah, see, and that's another name to keep an eye on because people are saying that the Indianapolis Colts are going to shuffle what's going on, but they're not going to move. They're not going to.
They're not. And it's funny, man. I love how people don't know football.
Yeah.
I love it because, bro, I remember people saying how Mark Davis should be on the sideline with a clipboard like the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Where the fuck is that energy now that they shit the bed? Everybody was giving her credit for a situation that's been that way before her dad even passed away.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yo, you guys got to stop with some of this shit, bro.
They dealt with some injuries. They're going to run it back next year. They just traded their 2 first-round picks for Sauce. They're not going to fire their head coach. But, Rube, you're definitely right. That West Coast with a lot of quick throws and RPO would fit Mendoza perfectly like a glove. Need to pick a coach to fit our quarterback. We can agree on that as well. A coach who will use that quick release. Cliff don't match. Talk that talk, my brother Rube. Appreciate you on a $20 special. Salute to Run DSC on the way out. Where do you guys stand on the organization put together the next coaching staff and cherry picking a head coach, DC, OC from across the league versus letting the hand-picked new head coach form his staff?
I'm 10 times out of 10 about the coach picking his staff himself. Yeah. I don't like, the organization putting together a hodgepodge of good coaches that might not get along. Yep. I want the coach to come in with his guys so there are no excuses. Yep. And also, it kills a lot of narratives that get created in the media about guys not getting along. Sometimes you guys don't understand. There are things that aren't true, right? And we make them true because we add that, we put that energy in the universe. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just transmutes. Yep. And sometimes it transmutes into people getting fired. Like when we talk about the Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly thing, that really wasn't a thing until the media got a hold of it. It wasn't a thing until people started asking. It wasn't a thing. They probably were excited about working together. And then it just becomes a thing. And then you get the finger pointing and you get all of the people asking you about it. And stuff like that really, really is things that you don't want in an organization that's trying to rebuild the culture. When you're trying to rebuild the culture, you want positivity coming out of the top of the building. Yeah. That's all you need. That's all you need. Even if you're 7-9, it's a good feeling because you trust the coaching staff, you trust the guys that are there building it. But when you have an internal conflict and you're not playing that great, it becomes an albatross.
Boom. I couldn't have said any better than our brother Wasted. And real quick, you guys, on the way out, the Cowboys fumbled deep in their own territory. So the Giants have the ball. Well, they just kicked the field goal. So they're up 3-0 right now in New York, man. Hopefully the Giants can continue this. And also Cincinnati scored on Cleveland. They're up 7-0. So we're getting some help early. I mean, all that really matters is that Giants and Dallas game. That's all that truly matters because there's a lot that has to happen with those other games. If the Giants go out there and handle their business against the Cowboys, we have nothing else to worry about. And it'd be great to just be able to root for our football team for the first time, probably in a long time.
It's late October.
To go out there and win a game, right? And Dak is playing 2 for 2 already, 13 yards. Apparently there was a fumble there.
Dakota Rain Prescott, go out there and be as average as you have been.
Pickens and Lamb. Well, he hasn't been average, bro. He's been playing out.
No, he's been cooking, but I'm talking about average when it counts.
Yeah. So the judo, great show once again, fellas. Latest scuttlebutt is Phillip Rivers as possible head coach candidate. Is there a dark time? No.
I don't want a high school coach jumping levels and becoming our coach. Get the F up.
No, sorry, Bob. Salute to my guy Judo, and then salute to Rudy on the way out as well. They will not let us get off the screen today. Salute to Rudy the vet. Salute to the YouTube GOATs. About to hit different in Vegas when Scarface arrives.
Abba Fernando.
Salute to our guy Rudy the vet. Russo in the building, man. Appreciate you, brother. As always, again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. We will be live for the watch party, Raiders Chiefs, and then Wasted will be live after the game to give you his takes on everything Raiders Chiefs. Love, appreciate you all. On the way out, make sure you guys wipe them feet, man, pay your bar tabs, and also hit that subscribe button. Salute to everybody in the chat that sent supers, got involved in the, in the chat, comments, became new members. We appreciate every single one of you guys. To all the new people in the building, see a lot of new names. Welcome to Shieldmore. We do this every single day. So make sure you guys subscribe to Wasted Talent Raider Nation Unlimited on YouTube and OLV Raiders Network as well. Much love. Appreciate you guys. See you in a few hours. We are out. Touchdown!